But the upside is that while smaller, you can see things that are nearly invisible to your bigger self.
Ah, I get it. Right. Forests for the trees. Just the other way round. Short-sighted is more than a matter of perspective.
That's how Alice can shrink. And when you shrink, of course, I'm not intending this to be like a walkthrough per se, but you can see hints that are drawn in childlike drawings.
Look how small she's become, all curled up. She's barely there, a vixen in her hidey hole.
Another really, I guess another thing, the other major complaint, I've heard people say that the game's repetitive, and I'm like, I don't really get it. Any game is repetitive. Look at Tetris. It's still around after over 20 years. That's what you call the height of repetitive. Come on. And that's true for most puzzle games like that. It's nothing particularly mysterious or unusual, I don't think. But I really have a hard time understanding what people's problem is, why they say things like that. It doesn't really make any sense, after all. Okay, anyway, sorry for the interruption. Actually, because it doesn't really make any difference that I didn't get what I wanted to get. I just wanted to get the flower, because it gives us teeth, but yeah. I mean, when you're playing the initial time through, getting all the teeth is pretty important to power up your weapons, but, I've gotten too used to, the more recent times through when I'm already way powered up and don't have anything to do with the teeth. But anyway, so here we are again back at this point, and Alice is about to go down and around, and this is all pretty straightforward. As you can see, we're even being pointed in the right direction. No, we can't jump off the cliff. Yeah, so anyway, I just don't understand why people would say repetitive. I mean, even FPS is very repetitive. I don't care if you go like Doom 3, Half-Life, whatever. They're all very repetitive. RPGs, God, I mean, we invented the terms of like farming and grind to describe various elements of RPGs, right? So it's not like we don't know that they're repetitive.
I'll never have more fun alone than when I rode the big slide in Hyde Park. Papa will take you soon, Alice.
Yeah, big slides, huh? Hyde Park, okay. Guess what's coming? It's real subtle. And by the way, before I jump up there, I mean, you can kind of see she's actually in like a shell. So obviously the mushroom is going to take her up above the shell, right? And you can see like the rock cliff up there. No, I'm not looking up her skirt, but you can see the rock cliff going up. You guys are probably looking up her skirt. Well, some of you probably are. Well, up her dress anyway, not really skirt. So anyway, back to that purple flower, the shrinking violet. The shrinking violet is that's what she can restore her health if she stays in it, and it gives you teeth afterwards, which some of you might know. These shells in this chapter, in chapter 1, the shells have teeth. When you play through again, you can break these couple shells and get some teeth. I don't have a weapon right now, so I can't. And on down the slide we go, and this one's actually fun because I can't get hurt. Later on, it starts getting a whole lot nastier. Hey, yes! Grab the teeth, grab the teeth. And the gold teeth are worth 5, the white teeth are worth 1. Okay. And away we go, yay! I'm just trying to get them all, that's all. Especially since I missed the ones in the flowers. Oh yes, and shells. We gotta get the shells. Yes, yes. There we go. That's much better. Ah! Crap. Oh well. Almost got them all. Oh joy, a river of blood. So you know this couldn't quite be normal, right? It wouldn't, well, it's all on Alice, so... If anything bad's happening, it's because of what she's thinking of. And that's, I guess, all the parents of the Jabberwocky.
The vorpal blade is swift and keen and always ready for service.
Yeah, so he says.
I've not come back here looking for a fight.
Really? That's a pity. One's certainly looking for you.
You have just obtained the Vorpal Blade. Yeah, go Snickersnack. It leaves them dead. As seen in a previous poem. Of course, they're referring to the Jabberwocky, but the poem that the blade is from. And yes, your Vorpal Blade is basically your fast attack weapon. So, as you can see here. To be honest, I hate melee combat, so I really don't care that much, except that, unfortunately, the way they did this game, you can't really specialize in a weapon, per se. And yes, I'm just going around and picking up my stuff. Teeth from the shells. But in this game, the first game, I don't know, I've seen some comments saying the first game is really hard. It's like, no, the first game's not hard. But you have to understand the first game, it's designed to be long-range combat. So if you go into melee combat in the first game, that's not what you're going to get clobbered. That's not a good idea.
Flight or fight implies a permanent choice, but flight often just means putting off the fight to another day. Choose your battles wisely, Alice.
So, in this game, however, that's not the case. You know, in this game, it's that different creatures require different strategies in order to defeat them. And you have to actually even kind of mix up your attacks between weapons, not just with a weapon, but between weapons. So here we'll be able to see, or you should be able to see that the effects, the physics effects, you've got some real fluid dynamics going on that you do not have that.
Evil in a single monstrosity.
Ugly, gross, and evil in a single monstrosity. What's really great about this is that despite the really gross and disgusting tar babies, Alice's dress is perfectly clean. Even if she's moving around through pollution. But it's all in her mind, so, you know, she has magical abilities to keep her clothes clean, and her skin, and everything else. So, that was our first encounter there. Another memory.
God's purpose is simple and immutable. Human purpose is fickle, because it is a slave to memory. Memories must be strictly managed, Alice. Unproductive ones must be eliminated.
So you can tell the different memories, they have different icons, which actually, again, out here, you can actually see this in, you can see the track of, like, the pig snouts, the memories recovered, the radula rooms, and the bottles in here, and the paint that roses red. Actually, in the first chapter, you don't have any radula rooms, so you don't have to worry about that. The memories section, though, if you see all the different icons, the glasses are the doctor, your psychiatrist. The house is the little family memories. There's more of them than any other, of course, because it's Alice's story, after all. The bottle is, let's see, well, the hypodermic is the Dr. Wilson from Rutledge Asylum. I mean, this is the hypodermic. This is the gin. This is, I think, Nurse Witless. And this is the nanny. Yeah. Pris Witless. Like I said, Dr. Witless, or Dr. Wilson, rather. And then last is the lawyer Radcliffe. He's the pen, the ink pen. I'm surprised they have a ink pen like that, but anyhow. Anyway, so going back here, back to our mushroom. As you can see, there's really nothing else going on here. You will get in the habit, or, well, if you're really trying anyway, you'll get in the habit of using the shrink sense a lot. And believe me, some of the stuff they put in here, there's a couple of memories, or a couple of items that are in some very sort of tricky places. Yeah, we know. Well, I know, anyway, about floating. And I don't really know how to put this, but like in the first game, this is actually jumping back here. It claims their float can be used multiple times when jumping. Not exactly, because you can actually only jump in midair like up to 3 times, and that's only if you hit it just right. Sometimes I've had it where it doesn't quite register things because I get a little thumb happy. But so you can't just continue floating ad nauseum. You have a limit, and you have to be careful about that, or you miss your jumps. But I've seen comments of people saying in the first game that the combat is really screwed up, or the jumping mechanic is really screwed up, or something. It's like, no, it's not at all. I played the first game many times, and it's that actually the first game has a really great mechanic in helping you out with the basically you have to place the footsteps. There's little footsteps that'll show you exactly where you're going to land. And there's our first bottle. So we unlocked some content there, or extra content rather. More shells, yay rah! But I think that people who are saying that maybe aren't really understanding that element of the first game. I mean, you have full control over where you're going to land, but you have to use it. If you just try to control it yourself by blind jumping, that's not how the game's designed, and they basically tell you that. Same thing with combat. I mean, if you're not paying attention to how the game instructs you on how combat works, then you maybe would have trouble. I don't know. But I never had any trouble with that game, even on Nightmare mode. Although I will say I have not played all the way through the console version yet. Second bottle. Yay! And more shells. And more teeth. See, and this is all very pretty. Well, we won't be going up that way, I guess. So, what do we have here? Okay.
Oh, it's you again, Alice. You may approach.
Why would I do that? You want to eat me?
Yes, well, you taught me manners, and I've lost my taste for mad women. Strictly a porcine diet for me. Everything's better with bacon, don't you agree? Of course you do. Now, there are pig snouts scattered about. I heard a few behind the house. Go fetch them for me. But take care for the pests that block your way. Pepper them up if they do. They need spice, and you're just the girl to season them for me. You'll find that grinder serviceable.
Why not season your own pig parts?
Matter of priorities. My alabaster skin needs protection from the disgusting creatures running amok amidst the environs. But one gets peckish. Look, all you have to do is listen for the oink, then shoot the snout. You may like the results. I certainly will.
So obviously that's the Dutch.